really involving the discovery of a group of chemicals that we now refer to as forever chemicals that are completely man-made synthetic chemicals, didn't exist on the planet prior to World War II, that have now managed to find their way into drinking water virtually all over the United States and now almost all over the entire globe. And not only are they drinking water contaminants, they're ending up in our soils, in sediment, in lakes, and unfortunately now in blood of living creatures all over the planet, including humans. And this is something that didn't happen back in the 1800s. I mean, this is contamination that occurred in modern day during our lifetime. And what I try to explore in the book Exposure, and what you see in the film Dark Waters, and there's a documentary as well, The Devil We Know, that looks at this with the real people involved, is essentially the story of how this happened. How is it that you can end up with contamination like this, with chemicals that have these unique abilities to essentially never break down. They have these really strong chemical bonds between carbon and fluorine that once they're out in the environment, it's almost impossible for these things to break down naturally under natural conditions. They don't degrade. That's why you hear them referred to as forever chemicals. And they also have this ability, once they get out in the environment, not only to stay in the environment and water and soil, but in living things. They not only persist in us, but they build up. They bioaccumulate over time. And we've also now learned, after being able to see all the internal studies that the companies making these chemicals had for decades, that they're incredibly toxic. PFOA, for example, has been linked with cancers and 6 different diseases.